23 out of 24 people got hired at KFC that day. The only one rejected, Jack Ma. He failed school multiple times. Failed his university entrance exams twice. Got rejected from Harvard 10 times. And yet, this same man would go on to build a $400 billion empire. This is the unbelievable story of Jack Ma, the man they all laughed at until he won.
Alibaba has posted an 86...
Why do I say that? The Chinese tech giant just pledged roughly 50...
Jack Ma was born in 1964 in Hangzhou, China. His parents were poor local performers. He had no money, no connections, and seemingly no opportunities. But Jack had one strange obsession: English. Every single morning at 5 a.m., he rode his bicycle for 40 minutes to a nearby hotel. His goal? To give free tours to foreign tourists, just so he could practice speaking English. He did this for 9 years straight. He did it in the rain. He did it in the snow. He even did it when no one showed up. Jack himself would later say, he wasn't smart, he wasn't particularly talented, but he was absolutely relentless. As he got older, the rejections started piling up. Jack applied to 30 different jobs and was rejected from all 30. He tried to become a police officer. They refused him. He applied to Harvard, not once, not twice, but 10 times, and was refused every single time. And then came the KFC incident. When KFC first came to his city, 24 people applied for a job. 23 were hired. Jack was the only one they didn't want. At this point, most people would have just quit. They would have accepted their fate. But Jack believed something that sounded almost crazy. If you never give up, you still have a chance. That belief would change everything. In 1995, Jack visited America for the very first time. A friend showed him a computer, a new and magical device, and said, "Type anything you want." Jack thought for a moment and typed one simple word: beer. Instantly, results appeared on the screen: American beer, German beer, Japanese beer. But there was no Chinese beer. In fact, there wasn't a single Chinese product online. A nation of over 1 billion people had zero presence on the internet. In that moment of absence, Jack saw a massive opportunity. He rushed back home and created China Pages, one of China's very first internet companies. The problem was, nobody in China understood what the internet was. At the time, the entire country had fewer than 1 million users. The business, predictably, failed. Jack had to take a government job, adding another failure to his long and growing list.
I think it's the greatest job in government. You show up to the office once a month, and you say, "Let's see, flip a coin."
But then came 1999. In a pivotal moment, Jack gathered 17 of his friends into his tiny apartment. For 2 hours, he spoke with incredible passion about the future of the internet. He painted a picture of connecting Chinese businesses to the entire world, of creating opportunity where none existed. His friends, captivated by his vision, believed him. They pooled their life savings, a total of $60,000, and with Alibaba was born. Jack chose the name because anyone, anywhere in the world, could say it. And because the story of Alibaba meant open sesame, a perfect symbol for his mission to open doors for small businesses everywhere. Alibaba started to grow, and it grew fast. But in 2003, a giant entered the battlefield: eBay. They were an international behemoth, with billions of dollars at their disposal. They had a track record of global success. They even bought a local Chinese competitor for $180 million to solidify their position. Everyone thought Alibaba was finished. It was David versus Goliath. And Goliath had a rocket launcher. But Jack saw something that others didn't. eBay didn't understand China. So, Jack launched his counterattack. Taobao, a marketplace built from the ground up, specifically for Chinese sellers and buyers. While eBay charged sellers fees to list their products, Taobao was completely free. When people asked him how he would ever make money, Jack simply replied, "If we create value for our customers, the money will come later." People laughed at him. eBay executives openly mocked him, saying, "Free is not a business model." Jack just smiled and said, "Free is our strength." He then tackled the single biggest obstacle to e-commerce in China: Trust. People didn't trust online payments. They were afraid of being scammed. So, he created Alipay, a revolutionary system that held a buyer's money in escrow until they confirmed they had received their goods and were happy with them. eBay's leadership called it an illegal financial service. Jack called it necessary. Within just 1 year, Taobao completely crushed eBay in the Chinese market. The giant eventually packed its bags and left China entirely. From there, Alibaba exploded. Taobao, Tmall, Alipay, Alibaba Cloud. Global shipping, everything scaled at an unbelievable rate. Jack often said, "I am not smart, but I know how to inspire smart people." His empire wasn't built on his ability to code. It was built on his vision. It was built on empowering people, not just on technology. It was built on unwavering belief, not a demand for perfection. The story of Jack Ma isn't about being the most brilliant person in the room. He didn't win because he was a genius. He won because he simply refused to give up. His famous words are, "Today is tough, tomorrow will be worse. But the day after tomorrow is beautiful." Most people quit during that hard today or that worse tomorrow. They never wait long enough to see the beautiful day after. But Jack did. And that is how he built Alibaba, one of the greatest and most influential companies the world has ever seen. Thanks for watching. If you liked the story of Jack Ma and Alibaba, please hit that like button, and if you enjoy learning the truths behind the world's most unbelievable lives, subscribe to our channel. You don't want to miss what's coming next. See you in the next one.